Totally forgot to put on some music. Let's see, what do we have today? Actually, let's listen to the... should we listen to the Flopatron or should we listen to music? Either way, the idea today is making progress on the SparkJoy app, which is an app I've been ignoring for way too long. It's an app I've been meaning to use for those thumbs up, thumbs down widgets that I want to add on a bunch of stuff that I'm working on. I want to add it to my blog posts. I already have type forms in my emails. I want to change them to these easier to use widgets. And the problem I've been having is that I built this, it works, but it's not yet dog foodable because it's missing a couple of key features that I really need. So that's what we're going to work on today. See if we can get it. It's gonna be rough, but I'm hoping that I can get it working. Last time I worked on this was probably a couple of weeks ago, and I updated all of the dependencies. I updated use auth to use the published version, stuff like that. Which reminds me, I have since updated what's it called again? I've updated use auth. They opened the right one. I keep opening the wrong package JSON. So let's see. Use auth 050. I think we're now on 051. I don't think I'm actually using React, so I can remove that one. And I am in fact still using rebase, so I'm gonna keep that. So let's say yarn remove React. And what else am I not using anymore? I'm just gonna keep the rest the same way it is, and we're gonna start working on the actual features. Let me start some music. I don't know how to think without music. Let's see. Spotify. Oh, I can also turn off the heat. Then it's not gonna be too hot. Why is Spotify opening so slowly right now? Is my computer struggling again? Did I make it too hot in my office? I think I did make it too hot in the office. Well, that's annoying. Okay, so we'll see if anyone ends up joining. Let's Bohemian Rhapsody Radio. That sounds like a good one. That's totally not gonna get banned from YouTube. So start that. And here's the basic idea of the app for any of you who don't know, which is probably most of you because I haven't worked on this a whole lot. So you click Start Sparking Joy. You log in eventually. Why is this so slow? What am I running? Computer, why are you slow today? Like, it's not hot out. The computer is not supposed to be slow right now. We go on Swizz. We log in as me. Let's see if that's gonna work. The site can't be reached. What? Refuse to connect. Oh, right, because I turned it off. Yarn start. And Spotify. Didn't I just click on a radio? Queen Radio. Okay, Queen Radio then. What? Okay, so I definitely made it too hot in the office, and now this is way too loud. Make it less loud. All right, there we go. So I can now go to not caps lock, localhost 8000, and we will see what happens. I'm gonna close a bunch of these. What are they? Tabs, files, whatever you want to call them. I'm waiting for localhost 8000 to load. So I'm sorry guys, I did not realize my computer would be so slow right now. Let me open the window, maybe that's gonna help. Fix some. I really need to buy that iMac, don't I? Then I'll be able to live stream it to my heart's content. Okay, localhost 8000 is loading. That was slow. Start Sparking Joy. I should be able to log in now. Yes, perfect. And if I go to, that's the video series, we get thumbs up and thumbs down, and then there's questions that I need to render as well so that I can show answers to the questions and stuff like that. Cool. Now let's see. Kiwi, what are you up to? Hi. Yes, come hang out with us. Say hello to the bird. So let's see. The plan today like I said, is to store metadata. So I need to have some way of identifying people. So I want to be able for somebody to click upvote, downvote without having to tell me who they are. Or tracking, I know tracking is bad, but I need to be able to know who's answering, because I've had a lot of problems with people leaving answers and votes and me not being able to actually get back to them. So they like, Kiwi. So they ask me a question and then I'm like, I can't email you back. Hey Emiliano, how are you doing tonight? Are you from Italy? I don't know why I guessed that. I don't know if I'm right, but the name sounds Italian. Okay, so I'm gonna, am I on the SparkJoy repository? I am. So let's see, we need to go into the widget builder, widget list, widget admin, that's the page, widget builder. Hey Candy Cane, how are you doing? So Candy Cane, no, not Candy Cane. Turn on React mode, JavaScript React, and let's see, do I need to clean this shit up a little bit? I do, don't I? Okay, so we have the save widget query, and we have the widget itself. So when I type this stuff here, what's erroring out? Component is changing an uncontrolled input of type text. Dude, can you please stop logging me out? For the love of fuck. Hi. Server responded with a status of 400, whatever. So I'm typing here and I'm changing an whatever. Okay, so we have the widget builder. Hi Kiwi. The widget builder is this thing that we're looking at right now. That creates the widget with thumbs up, thumbs down. So then I have a function to export the widget. Type of joy is called, that's the name that we're filling out. So let's make sure that input field is actually, what's it called? Widget editable value type of joy, set type of joy. That's the update method. Where is the widget? Okay, I need to, it's been a while since I played around with this repository, since I worked in this repository. So I'm getting a little, why does that shit keep logging me out? That's gonna be annoying to work with. Maybe I should start using, what's it called? What's that thing called? Storybook. That might help, right? Okay, so we have an editable widget with an input, and that input is a styled input. Bloody fuck. Who are these people making so much noise? Okay. Widget layout question, and widget layout with a ref question h2. Did this something spark joy? That's the question. And round button, thumbs up, thumbs down. So what we need to do is change the refs so that they have parameters, right? Yes. Okay. So what are the parameters we need? Since I'm using this with ConvertKit, I'm gonna look at how ConvertKit does it. Yeah, I haven't moved to the new apartment yet, Candy Cane. I'm doing that next weekend. So this weekend, no, next weekend. This coming weekend, we're packing everything, and then next weekend we have the movers coming, and we're moving in one fell swoop. So let's see. That's the ref, and then when we export, how does the export work? Maybe I should move this stuff somewhere else. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, thanks, man. I'm really happy you enjoy my videos. Okay, so we need to move the export widget to a different thing. And widgets and stuff. Yeah, this file is getting very confusing. But this is what we call an MVP, right? So let's see. Button, the export button calls export widget. So I'm going to take this export widget, and we're going to, let's see. So when we export the widget, we need to say, let's make a new file. So this is going to be a new file, and we're gonna call this the export widget function. So use widget exporter.js. We're going to call this widget let's see. So my keyboard is still kind of broken. We say import. Okay, we're gonna figure out what we need to import, but we're going to export function use widget exporter, and we're gonna keep our data here. So what do we need? We need bird. Chill. So const data await. That's what's wrong. We need to change this to React mode to make it prettier work normally. And we await Apollo client mutate. So we need to get the Apollo client. Where does the Apollo client come from? Use Apollo client. So we can use, since this is now a hook, we can move other hooks into it, which then means we have to import the Apollo client. Kiwi, shut the fuck up. Okay, use Apollo client, React Apollo hooks. We mutate save widget query. We need to get the type of joy. We also need the user ID. So here, when we click export, we then, oh, it's going to actually, it should dude, chill, bloody hell. So we say const export widget equals use widget exporter, which is now auto imported, right? Perfect, that worked correctly. And we pass in, what do we pass in? We pass in the type of joy and the user ID, and we get back a function that we call to actually trigger the exporting. So export function use widget exporter, Apollo client mutate, and then we trigger the site build, which, why did this get all broken up? So this is supposed to be a widget with a value and stuff. Let's see, how did I envision this thing? And why is there a very loud police car or something? Okay, sorry, but I really had to open the window, otherwise my computer would melt. Or at least it seemed like it was melting, so I opened the window. Widget ref. Let's see, ref. So I'm sorry if this is going to be a bit of a rough live coding session, but I'm actually figuring this out from scratch, and this is actually a product that I've been meaning to build and want to use. How hot is it in SF? That is a great question. Weather. So it's not that hot right now in SF. The problem is, it's more a problem of me having, what's it called? I had the heater running and I think I left it on for too long. I'm also not sure why all of this is formatted wrongly right now, but I gotta fix it because I think it's causing problems. So content, bam, that. Like, why is formatting not working correctly? This is very confusing to me right now. Like, the fuck? Prettier, why aren't you prettifying? What's it complaining about? What's wrong? Oh, because I'm using a weight. Right. That's silly. Gray cinnamon. This is very confusing right now. Okay, let's remove this await. Okay, perfect. So now prettier did its thing, and now let's see. we're going to, this is what use widget exporter has the follow-up questions. These are now hard-coded. Hard-coded for now will be part of UI in the future. So we have that. Then let's see, then we have to trigger the site build. We have to create the widget, and we have to then we have to render the widget and create some HTML, and we copy that to clipboard. Then we raise the butter. Okay, so that's how this is gonna work. This is going to return a method. So let's change this. Save to backend. So saving to backend is going to work like this. Async function save to backend, which is going to need what? So we await, and then we return the data, and we need the type of joy, the follow-up questions, the user ID, and the Apollo client. So those are the things that save to backend needs, right? Yes. So we are going to take buttered toast from here because we are not going to need it anymore, and we are going to trigger get CSS, and all of that is also in utils. We don't need that here anymore. And we also are not going to need React DOM. So I'm just kind of cleaning up the code right now as it helps me understand what my mental process and my mindset was when I was building this originally, so that I can hopefully start fixing it. So here we go. We save to backend. So saving to backend needs type of joy, and it needs the follow-up questions, the user ID. It also needs the Apollo client, and I think that's it, right? So this is where using what's it called? We also need to import React. React from React. Using TypeScript would have been helpful in a lot of this stuff, but you know. So saves widget instance to database. Hard-coded for now will be part of UI in the future, so that saves to the backend. We get data back. What is that data used for? Do we actually use that data for anything? We do not. So then we return a function save widget, which is just an async function that we return that doesn't do anything, but it's going to await save to backend. Then it triggers the site build, which is completely this talks to Netlify and triggers a rebuild of the site. And we should also make sure, oh cool, we are already making sure that this doesn't happen on localhost. Very smart. Past wizards has good ideas sometimes. And then we need to actually get the HTML. Yes, then we copy to clipboard, get HTML. Let's see, get HTML like that. Get widget HTML, let's do it this way. Get widget HTML. So we have function get widget HTML, which is going to need what sort of stuff? It just generates the widget itself. You can add TypeScript now. I can add TypeScript now, but I don't want to work on that at this very moment. So we say const data equals, hey Corytag, haven't seen you around, how are you doing? So data widget ref create ref. Then we create the widget, this render virtual widget. Okay, so we render the virtual widget with all of the same parameters. We get the HTML, then we return the HTML. So that gives us that stuff, gives us the styles with the HTML. Use widget exporter should work. We get the data, then we have to pass data into, did we do it that way? Nope, needs to be in curly braces, like that. And then copy to clipboard, get with widget HTML, and then it butter toasts the, hey, this was successfully, oh nice. I'm happy you're following me on Twitter. I just hope I don't scare you away. Like, oh, fucking hell. Okay, I need my magnesium supplements. Oh, God. Have you ever gotten a cramp in your hamstring? Oh, oh God. Why me? Oh, okay. Whew. Let me go get that supplement right away. I'll be right back. Oh, Kiwi! Where are you, bird? Kiwi. There you are. Good night, Kiwi. Oh. Whew. Okay. So I found Kiwi in my bed, snuggling away because he's tired, so I put him to bed. And here's my magnesium. Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, so I found the only worse place to get a what's it called, a cramp than your hamstring is when they happen in your calves. I sometimes get them so bad that I literally wake up at night screaming. It can be pretty bad. Okay, so we have this hook returns function to trigger to function to call for exporting. Okay, so we've got that set up, and now in the widget builder we have the use widget exporter, which does the things, widget ID. So this is a widget. So widget exporter needs to, do we have a widget? We have a widget list, a widget builder. We're gonna need to move this into its own repository. So it's gonna need widget layout question, move that into its own file, because you'll see why. Export const, we change this to, so it's gonna need to import React from React and import styled from styled components. Save widget.js, change it to React mode. So what am I missing? I'm missing a round button and a flex and so on. So that has a button, layout, round button. That comes here. What else do we need? We also need the input. Perfect, the input. And let's see, what else do I need to import? I'm gonna need styled tools. Am I using those? Am I using palette anywhere? I am using palette. So we're gonna take the palette. I have since learned a new what's it called? Joaquiru. What's poggers? I haven't heard of that before. Okay, we need flex from styles. Why do I have flex in styles? That's just silly. Okay, so I've kind of been this was before Rebas 4 came out when I started working on this, so a bunch of this styling system is now better, and I know how to use it better than I did back when I started this, but still. Okay, use ref. I'm not actually calling use ref, so we now need to import widget, come on, widget from ./widget, like that. And I'm gonna import this in widget.js, no, not in widget, in use widget exporter here. So now let's do yarn start and let's see if that still works. If it still works, then we're making good progress. We're just refactoring so far, but I think the code is much cleaner to use or to read. Either way, it's going to be easier to make changes, and it's going to also be easier to do something else I've been meaning to do. Okay, what did I get wrong? Type of joy is not defined in use widget exporter JS. Type of joy, because why is type of joy not defined? What? So where use widget exporter gets type of joy and user ID, why is heading is not defined? Where am I using heading? In widget.js, I am actually using a heading, am I? Okay, I am using a heading, so we take heading from styles, I guess. Type of joy is not defined. Why is it saying Candy Cane Apollo client is referring to the Apollo client? The Apollo server is running on AWS Lambda, in a Lambda, so it wakes up whenever we call it, and this is specifically the client, which is essentially the client library that helps us connect to an Apollo server. I don't wait, where is it saying that type of joy is not defined? On line 34 in use widget exporter. Line 34, type of joy. Also, I'm confused. Like, I'm not actually using, what's it called? Get widget. Oh, no, I'm not. I don't need to pass it. I'm not using TypeScript, so how is it figuring out that there's stuff that's undefined? How come you write your GraphQL servers in Rustlang? What's the benefit? Alright, so we've got this, is running. Reload page. There we go. Okay. It still responds with a status code of 400, which is annoying, but I can go to start sparking joy. Let's type something here, blah, blah, blah. That still complains that I'm changing an uncontrolled input. A component is changing an uncontrolled input of type text to be controlled. Input element should not switch from uncontrolled to controlled or vice versa. Whatever. Export. We get copied to clipboard, and now I can copy pasta, and we got the whole shebang, right? So this should, in theory, this should work. Now what I gotta do is see here the params are like the URLs are not something that's actually gonna work. So git status. Git at source, git commit -a-m. We say what? What do we say? Oh, I have a headache. git commit -a -m refactor widget builder. Perfect. And now we're gonna add params to this. So we're gonna say, oh, also, what is the sparkjoin netlify.com? Let's see, do I have that defined anywhere? Gatsby config, URL, domain. No. So we're gonna turn them into absolute URLs with a very easy trick. Widget builder, widget.js here. So here we're going to say this is going to be window.location. Let's see, how do we get the domain and stuff? Okay, so window.location dot not href but hostname, and not hostname, host. Okay, host, and we also need protocol. So if we say it like this, window location protocol // wow, how does it know that's what I want to do? Window location host, yes, that was very smart. Chrome knows what I'm trying to do. Okay, so we're gonna use this and put it here. Like that. Window location host. Oh, actually, let's do it this way. Here where we're React forwarding ref, we're going to, so this needs to work on the server side as well. So we need to make sure that all uses of Windows are conditional. So we say if window, if type of window is not undefined, then we say domain equals blah. So like that. Actually, we can do it. Let domain equals an empty string, and then down here we say just $domain, like that. Yes, so that should work. Domain. Okay, what am I getting wrong? Like that. Okay, so we're now setting the domain so that URLs are absolute. Let's try that works. Start Spark enjoy, blah, export, response not successful, whatever. Paste, no, come on. Yes, okay, so that's a problem. Come on, start Spark enjoy. Tip. Export. That worked, and we now have absolute URLs. Yay! Okay, so we've got the absolute URLs. Now the next step is passing in params from what was I gonna say? Params from when you click on the URL. Jukiriwu. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. It looks kind of like a French word, but like a weird French word. So I write my GraphQL servers in TypeScript. That's what I've used mostly so far. It works pretty well. I haven't tried Rust or anything like that yet, so I don't know how that would be. Git commit -a -m. Use absolute URLs for thumbs up, down. Okay. Now the next step. Sorry, I think that may have been loud. I bumped my microphone. Now we need to say, let's see. What are the parameters we should use for this stuff? Ideally, we would have some way of identifying who it was and what they did. Yes, who it was and what they did. So we're going to say thumbs down, question mark. Subscriber, user. Yeah, I've heard of Erlang. Erlang sounds really cool, Candy Cane. I have not a lot of intention of learning it right now. So I'm going to start with saying, so let's call it voter. Voter is a nice, yes, voter makes sense. And I'm going to hard code it with liquid templates for now. Subscriber.email, because that's what I'm going to be using. ConvertKit, liquid. Let's see what they use for. Wow, okay. Liquid templating for ConvertKit from W or freelancing, whatever. No. Conditional email content. How do I get the? Oh hey, I've seen her before as well. So subscriber tags. No, that's the tags. Where do I get email? Subscriber.email. Is that how it works? We could not find any articles. Tags and segments, growing and managing your list, all collections, migrations, opt-ins, designing and sending emails, growing and managing your list, automating your content, deliverability, housekeeping, ConvertKit affiliates, use cases, liquid. Okay, so I should probably spend some time what was I gonna say? I should probably spend some time reading up on ConvertKit and figuring out how to use it even better. But subscriber first name. I just want to see. Okay, let's just go into ConvertKit then. So ConvertKit. I think it's subscriber.email, but I am not sure what it is. Wow, terrible. Okay, broadcast sequences. Let's just go to making a new broadcast. That should help. Next step. Let's see. Aha, here we go. Subscriber's email address. Subscriber email address. That's what we want to use. So we're gonna say voter identifier, user identifier, voter. Let's just call it voter. Voter is fine. So we're using that subscriber email address, and I also want to use the. So what we're asking for sparking joy, that's the type of joy. We also need to know the specific one, the specific thing that we're using. GDPR link, Patreon tier, subscriber's email address, subscriber's tag, name with fallback. That seems useful. I wonder if I can get a unique ID in the email. That would be in the. Okay, I can deal with that manually for now. So we're gonna say $1 in href. You mean in this one? No, there's not supposed to be in that one, because I want this to be rendered exactly like as you see it now, because then when ConvertKit renders the email, it's going to insert the email address there. So voter is that, and we're gonna say instance, joy instance of joy. So we have type of joy and instance of joy. Instance of joy equals, we're going to say this is just placeholder, ConvertKit liquid broadcast ID. I don't think they have that. complete guide to ConvertKit broadcast, how to create a broadcast, writing and sending, how can I add a subscriber name to my email. Yeah, I don't think they have identifiers. So I'm just gonna put it here as, so Facebook Messenger bots I think were a viable platform for a little bit. Right now they're just kind of weird and I don't think anybody uses them that much because they've been mostly taken over by spam. Let's call this replace this. Okay, so for now I'm gonna be hard coding this shit, but let's put it here. Okay, so we've got that. Git status, git commit -a-m. We're going to say, what's it complaining about? What did I mess up? That's what I messed up. Okay, so we've got that. Git commit -a-m. We're going to say add params to vote URLs. Git push origin master. And now the next step, we go on the vote page, on the actual vote page, and we're going to use these params and pass them into, what's it called? Pass them to the backend. So let's see. We go into widget, widget builder, use widget exporter, vote page. So the vote page is also a bit of a mess right now. It saves the vote. It has headings, thank you views, and form views, and all of that stuff. So what I need to do is, okay, page context, we get all of that stuff from it. Use effect, we save the vote. So for saving the vote, I'm gonna, here. How do I get params from the URL? Let's see. Window.query. No, window.location. What is it? Assign hash host, hostname, graph, origin, pathname, protocol, search, replace, value of, constructor, to locale. Okay, I'm just gonna, because I'm lazy, I'm gonna look it up. JavaScript URL query params. How can I get query string values in URL search params? Perfect. URL search params. URL search params. How does this work? A URL search param instance, a sequence of blah. Okay, so if we say new.url search params from window.location.search, we get nothing. But if we say voter equals candy cane and instance of joy equals hello, so I go there, this is obviously gonna not change anything, but then I can go into search params, do window.location.search, or what about if we do it this way? New URL from window.location.search. Okay, that didn't work. What if we say, what am I supposed to put in? That's a USV string instance, a URL search params instance, a sequence of blah, examples. New URL search params, URL.search. Okay, so how does that work? New URL search params, window.location.search, and then we say params equals params.entries, gives us an iterator. How do I crap. Okay, let's try this. Params. How do I print all of them? And why is this stuff all like? I don't know why, but a lot of this sort of, what's it called? Values. A lot of these things are like the default libraries are just too annoying to use. Like they're very object oriented, and I don't like that. So let's see, get voter. Okay, that worked. And then we have get instance of joy. Okay, perfect. Okay, that works. So we can say const params equals new URL search params from window.location.search, and then we say let's see, voter is params.get voter, and instance of joy is params.get instance of joy. Okay, so that works. I think that works. Cool, so instance of joy. Now we go into widget vote query. Oh, we're not using UUID before anymore here, nor the image. Okay, so we go into the widget vote query and we add dollar. Did I? God damn it. Thank you, Candy Cane. That was a nice catch. My N key is kind of broken right now. So we have to add dollar voter, which is a string, and dollar instance of joy, which is also a string, and then we pass both of them here. Voter, dollar voter, and instance of joy, dollar instance of joy. Cool. So we've got that. Now we hot update was not successful. I don't give a shit. Okay, so widget vote query. Let's status git commit -m, take params and pass them back to vote GraphQL. So we got that. I'm going to push to master, git push origin master, and then if I remember how this is set up, pushing to master is going to actually deploy on Netlify, and then I'll be able to test it out. While that's happening, we can go into the backend and look at the backend GraphQL stuff. Backend queries. So, oh no, not queries. Backend, let's see, what is GraphQL TS. GraphQL TS. Here we have each widget, each feedback has widget ID, vote type, answers created at, and it's also going to have a voter that is a string, and an instance of joy, which is also a string. Okay. God damn it. Oh, how the hell did I design this shit? Okay, so vote result has all of this stuff, and I think feedback needs to have it as well. Yes. I need to remember how I designed this data structure, because I am forgetting. But when we vote, we definitely get the voter and the string as an instance. We get the voter as a string and an instance of joy as a string now. Change that. So then we resolve, let's see, the widget vote query. Yes. Okay, the widget vote query is defined here in mutations. It gets the voter as an empty string, and the instance of joy is also an empty string like that. and we say voter question mark string, and we say instance of joy, which is also a questionable empty string, like that. Cool. So we got that. Now let's use them. We update the widget. Okay, we update the actual widget with additional thumbs up and additional thumbs down. So this is where this shit gets tricky. So here's where it gets tricky. I need the instance of joy to be added to my key, because I want to have a single widget for all of my blogs or all of my newsletters, but then each individual one needs to collect answers separately so that I can, you know, This is where this shit gets tricky. So this saves the vote. Saves vote per user widget pair. We also need for, so that's great for aggregate data. Do we need aggregate data? Aggregate data kind of makes sense. What if we actually didn't save it for the user widget pair, but now we need it separate for instances of widget types? Okay. Candy cane, it kind of depends. Usually when I'm working on side projects like this, I do tend to switch between front-end and back-end work pretty fluidly. At the day job, I am actually doing a lot of back-end right now, so there's less switching within a specific project because we have more people, so we can split a project among different people so that we each work on different parts. But yes, in the beginning when it was just me, or the fewer people you have, the more fluidly you have to switch between this stuff. Okay, so my hour is up. I have to go do some other things, but I think we made good progress. We got the front end ready. I think in another hour, so I'm gonna see. No, I'm not gonna live. I might live code again tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm gonna try live coding on Sunday. I'm not sure yet how packing is gonna go, but I'll try to do it tomorrow as well. I think I need just one more hour with this project, and then I'll be able to start actually using SparkJoy in my newsletters. So we'll see how that works. We got the front end almost there. Next step is just fixing up the backend so that it's saving votes per joy instances, not just for entire types. So we're getting pretty close. Thanks everyone for watching. I will try to be online again tomorrow. Otherwise, we're gonna have to do this Sunday or next week. So thanks everyone for watching. I will see you again next time. No, I don't want to download Macromedia.